Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to our first webinar of the new year. My name is Taylor, and I will be your presenter for the day. I am joined by Lisa and Renee, my
Hi,
coworkers.
everyone.
Hello.
And they're just here to answer questions that I might not be able to answer, stuff like that, and make sure the lobby's going well, make sure I don't miss any questions in the chat. So if you do have any questions for me, feel free to ask throughout the thing. You can type them in a chat, you can raise your hand, whatever you want to do, and we will have a question period at the end as well. All right, so just so you're not distracted by looking at me, I'm going to turn off my camera just so you can focus on the screen. So today's topic, we're going to talk data. Specifically, we want to discuss how you can use data and help that make better decisions for you within your municipality, within your organization. And we're going to talk about what that looks like compared to traditional decision making, different types of data. We're going to look at a couple case studies of cities that have done well using data in specific scenarios, and then also where you can source your data and how those different sources will benefit you. All right, so let's get started. So first, we're going to look at what is data-driven decision making. So it's a sort of compass for guiding your strategic decisions within city governance. It's an approach that utilizes data and analytics as a baseline for all of your strategic decisions. And it's not about hunches or gut feelings. And sometimes it will go directly against what you think is right, because it's about collecting data from various touch points, analyzing trends, and using those insights to inform your decisions. So the biggest thing about it is it focuses on evidence. And why do we do that? It's because empirical evidence, so data that's been collected and scrutinized and verified, is better than intuition. It's the difference between guessing and knowing. When we base your decisions on data, you build it on a solid ground. And this evidence-based approach leads to decisions that are defensible, transparent, and hopefully aligned with your constituents' needs. Uh, Also, it's about continuous learning. So it's not just one single decision. It's about cultivating a culture of continuous learning. And it's an iterative process where learning from the data is just the beginning. You adapt strategies based on what you learn and continuously improve your outcomes as you bring in more data. So it's a continuous cycle. You learn, improve, and evolve, and that keeps things moving forward. So to start off with a quick poll, just to see, wake everyone up here and see how everyone's doing. Let me find my polls. I'm going to post them and you can answer, and the results will be in the chat. So does your organization use data-driven decision making today in any capacity? So I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Hope you all can see it. Can you guys see it? I'm not seeing any responses yet.
I can see it, Taylor.
Okay. Oh, nobody wants to talk to me today? Okay, thank you. Yes, it will be in the chat, Amber, and everyone else. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be that kind of day. So nobody is. That's
No,
okay. If you don't want to do polls, oh,
no, we
it's
have
in that.
we have 11 answer, Taylor.
Yeah,
what?
the
Oh, I'm
Taylor
not seeing them. I'm sorry.
in the
They're in the
chat.
chat.
It's my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
They're in the chat, and it looks like some people are getting a pop-up. Well, I know there's two versions of Teams right now, so maybe that's part of it, right? There's the beta and the new
Okay.
Teams.
My
So
apologies, everyone. All right. So it looks like with the responses, most are using data-driven decision-making today in some capacity, that's good. I think if everything was just running on hunches at this point, that wouldn't be very fruitful. All right, so we'll move on to traditional decision-making and how does that compare? So traditional decision making is intuition based. Let's reflect on the times when your decisions or someone else's decisions were led by gut feelings. This often prioritizes knowledge and experience of individuals, which yes, can be valuable, but it's not always supported by the data. And this often will lead to well-intentioned yet potentially misguided policies. Traditional decision making is often reactive in nature. So without foresight provided by data trends, traditional decision making will often become a game of catch up, responding to a crisis after they've occurred rather than preventing them. They're also limited in scope. So the scope of traditional decision making is often confined by the limitations of the information that sectioned off departments can access. Without cross-departmental insights that data analysis offers, you don't get a full picture, and that leads to less informed and more isolated decision making. Also resistant to change. There is an inherent resistance to change within traditional frameworks. Yeah, that this is how we've always done it. It's heard often and it becomes a barrier to innovation and adaptation. Okay, so we'll do another poll here, and I promise I'll check the right section this time. So how often do you find you or your organization uses these traditional methods over attempting to harness data? Okay, so seeing mostly frequently's and occasionally's. Fortunately, nobody is doing that exclusively. Also, nobody's doing it never. And that's probably a good thing. You don't want to ignore intuition because uh, there is value to intuition. People who've done things a long time, they know what things are about. The important part is that you challenge what's been done and these intuitions with data that can sometimes go against what you think you believe. All right, so now there's some challenges in local government specifically that other places don't necessarily have to deal with, other organizations don't necessarily have to deal with. They're unique challenges faced, especially by smaller size municipalities. So data fragmentation. So with this, we're addressing the all too common issue of data being compartmentalized within various municipal departments. And this will lead to a disjointed view of the municipality's operation, and it hinders your ability to make holistic and informed decisions. Resource constraints, of course, that one's always brought up. Smaller municipalities often operate under significant resource constraints, and that's not just money, budgetary, manpower limitations, labor hours, eh, people doing multiple things. All of that will impede the adoption of sophisticated data-driven solutions. So this is where you need creativity and strategic partnerships to leverage what is available to you as efficiently as possible and searching out affordable solutions to provide what you need without a bunch of extra. Data privacy is a big concern in these days. It's a complexity that provides another significant hurdle, and you must balance the effective use of data while also adhering to strict privacy laws that are always changing, ensuring your citizens' information is protected. And then you want to make sure you're aligning with your goals. And it's a critical task that your data insights align with policy goals and your community values. Data is a very powerful tool, but it must be used to support the vision and objectives of the community it serves, not the other way around. So as we discuss these challenges, remember that they also present opportunities for innovation and improvement. And let's look at how these challenges can be overcome. So of course, obvious one, implementing data integration. These are vital in dismantling data silos. By adopting these tools, you can weave together separate pieces of data from across departments into a cohesive and manageable representation, giving you a unified and comprehensive view that's essential for informed decision making. Cost-effective software solutions. In an era where budget constraints are a reality, it becomes essential to find data analytics tools that are affordable and scalable. These solutions focus on providing services at a lower cost without adding a bunch of unnecessary features that might look good and maybe wanted, but aren't going to be necessary and aren't going to help you with your goal towards making better decisions, getting data easily. Having clearly defined data policies is another key step. By establishing clear guidelines on data privacy, security, ethical use, municipalities can foster an environment of trust and compliance. And this is critical in ensuring that citizens' data is protected and that your practices meet legal and ethical standards. If your citizens don't trust you with their data, you're not going to get it as easily, and that means there's less data for you to use. And then finally, community engagement, which cannot be overlooked. By involving citizens in the data collection and decision-making process, municipalities ensure that the data they gather and the insights they draw are reflective of and responsive to the community's needs and values. So by tackling these issues head-on, your smaller municipalities can navigate the complexities of the modern landscape and can even thrive within it. Before I go on, does anyone have any questions for that first little bit? No questions? That's good. I will continue on. All right, so I call this slide the threefold advantage. So these are the three main kind of central advantages that making data-driven decisions will bring to municipal governments. So enhanced efficiency, of course. Technology is making everyone's lives quicker and easier, and expectations for efficiency are rising in everything we do. The expectation is that city operations run as smoothly as any company, and this is what data analytics can achieve. It helps you cut through the clutter of redundant processes, optimizes your use of resources, and ensures that response times to issues are not just fast, but precisely targeted. And it's not just efficiency for efficiency's sake, it's about impactful service delivery that makes the best use of every dollar and every minute. And improved quality of services. So a high quality of service is the bedrock of public trust. By grounding decisions in data, you elevate the services you provide. It's about being responsive to what citizens truly need, and data helps give you that lens. We're also talking about using predictive and analytics not as a crystal ball, but as a tool for proactive problem solving, addressing issues before they even arise, and increase transparency and accountability. So having data, making decisions using data pulls back the curtain on how decisions are made. It's about showing the workings behind the decisions, the metrics, the data, and the thought process on how you made those decisions. And this transparency will help lead to enhanced accountability because it'll become easier to track and report results. When citizens see this level of openness, it helps build trust, and that trust brings cooperation and a community that's more engaged and united in its goals. So these advantages are not just theoretical, they're practical, measurable, and most importantly, achievable. They're the milestones on the journey towards a smarter, more responsive government. Okay, so this next slide, there's going to be a lot of info, but I think if anything you take away from this, it's going to be, this is probably one of the most important. This is specific types of data that you can use to help determine, to help make better decisions. It's not a complete list, but it's a curated handful based on discussions with municipalities across North America on the most important things that they use for different aspects. So the first one is voter turnout. This is a good indicator of community engagement. Higher voter turnout is generally seen as a sign of a healthy democracy and reflects a community that's actively involved in shaping its governance. Analyzing trends in voter turnout can provide insights on civic participation levels and the effectiveness of voter outreach programs. Service response times. Pretty straightforward. How long does it take to address a resident's inquiry or service request? Tracking and analyzing these times can reveal operational efficiencies or bottlenecks and guide you in resource allocation to improve service delivery. And keep it simple. If a resident inquiry or request consistently takes a long time or starts to increase, that's great information to have. Employee turnover and average tenure. So high turnover and short tenure can signal deeper issues within the workplace environment. Analyzing this data will help understand employee satisfaction and retention, allowing you to provide better management and a more stable workforce, which will then trickle down to the citizens and all the decisions that you can make. Resident satisfaction index. So a composite measure of resident satisfaction with local services will give you a broad overview of how well the municipality is meeting the needs of its constituents. It's a barometer for the health of your service industry. So let's take a look. This is a quick example. This is a public dashboard that Irving, Texas uses to showcase resident satisfaction on ongoing basis. So this is just one piece. This website had a ton of data, but I grabbed kind of a snapshot of it. And it's basically a report card of how Irving, Texas is doing now and hopefully going forward into the future. Debt per capita. So debt in government, as we all know, is a tricky thing. Often debt's talked about a thing to be avoided at all cost. However, utilizing municipal debt can be a viable strategy in accomplishing plans. It's important to measure things like bond to debt ratio and benchmark your debt relative to other local governments. So let's have a look at the Village of Mount Prospect's public dashboard to see how they chart this particular performance measure. So again, this is just a snapshot of a much larger page, and this is their debt per capita ratio. This is publicly available to citizens. Emergency response time. So this is about saving lives and property. By evaluating emergency service response times, you can pinpoint areas for improvement and ensure rapid assistance during crisis. Budget execution rate. So this refers to the amount of the original budget implemented, how much was actually spent. Measuring the rate of budget execution is a good tool for problem solving. By regularly checking to see if a budget is actually being spent in any given area, you can prevent problems like uneven implementation. And benchmarking again can really help with this. So what's your budget execution rate compared to municipalities that are similar to you or even that you aspire to be? And unemployment rate. Based on unemployment rate and understanding the types of employment, such as part-time or precarious work, contract work, it can give a richer picture of economic health and guide you in economic development strategies. So each of these data types offers a lens through which you can assess and refine governance strategies, striving for a municipality that is responsive, efficient, and aligned with the needs and aspirations of your community. So we'll do one more poll here. I'm just curious, based on all this we just did. Which of these discussed data types does your municipality use on a regular or ongoing basis? And you can choose all of them that you tend to use. And this is a bigger question, so I'll give you guys a minute here to process everything that was discussed on this slide and the question itself. So it looks like as the results are coming in here, service response time is one of the big ones. That's a good one to track. You can see specifically how efficient each department's doing. You can even drill down to staff level, and emergency response time is a pretty big one, also very important. And it looks like at least some municipalities are using most of these, or some of these, or a handful of these. At least that's good. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at a case study here. So this is a real world example of how cities are making improvements in forecasting and decision making using data. And the first case study we're going to look at is Syracuse, New York. Apologies. So they had a water main challenge. They had a significant challenge with their aging water main infrastructure, experiencing frequent and disruptive water main breaks. And this was more than an operational headache, it is a critical public service issue affecting thousands of residents. They realized they needed a proactive solution rather than a reactive one. So they developed they turned to data. They developed this predictive analytics model, which was a forward-thinking solution that took into account various factors like the age of the pipes, materials they were made from, and even the type of soil surrounding the pipes. And then the true innovation was the model's use of historical break data. By analyzing past incidents, Syracuse could predict which water mains were most at risk. This wasn't just looking back to learn, but was also helping look forward to prevent. And using these things, let's look at the benefits they saw with this forward-thinking approach. So their predictive analytics model not only addressed an immediate infrastructural issue, but also set a precedent for municipal operations. With the new model, they transformed their maintenance and repair operations. Efficiency was no longer about quick fixes, but about smart, data-informed choices. And this marked a significant improvement in how the city managed its water mains, with resources allocated more effectively and fewer disruptions to citizens. The shift from reactive to proactive management was profound. By anticipating where the next break might occur, the city reduced emergency repairs, which are often more costly and inconvenient. This saved money, but it also spared residents from the unexpected loss of services. Now, the broader implications of this case study are vast. It serves as a powerful example of how data can be utilized to revolutionize urban infrastructure management. Syracuse's proactive approach exemplifies a smarter way to handle city governance and opens the door to similar strategies for other urban challenges. Any questions about the case study or anything before we move forward? Nope, I'll just keep going. And again, if you have any questions, spit them out anytime and I'll answer them as soon as I get them and as soon as I know that they're there. All right, so far in this presentation, we've looked at the what. What is data-driven decision making? What types of data should be used? What are the benefits? Next, we're going to discuss the where and the how, where this data can come from and how you can harness it. So we're going to go through a few. I just want to say this is not the only set of data you can grab, but this is just kind of the main ones that are going to be very useful for you. And one of the largest and most important sources is citizen feedback and resident-related data. This information provides a direct lens into how your community is running and how effective you can be to your citizens. So digital platforms, our digital era offers a myriad of ways to capture real-time feedback. Online surveys, mobile applications, and social media platforms allow you to engage with citizens where they are most active, gathering their input efficiently and effectively. This instant feedback can guide immediate policy adjustments and service improvements. Now, the main hurdle with this that you need to be careful is you will sometimes, maybe more than sometimes, hear from the loudest and most extreme members of your population, and they don't always represent their majority. So you do need to filter through quite a bit of information with these digital platforms. Public forums is another big one, and town halls. Nothing replaces the value of face-to-face interactions. Town halls and public forums provide a platform for citizens to voice their concerns directly to city officials. These interactions foster a sense of community and can yield qualitative insights that are sometimes lost in digital communication. Now, data is only good as our ability to understand it. By using data visualization tools, we can present complex information in an accessible format, making it easier for citizens to engage with and understand the impact of municipal decisions on their daily lives. And finally, inviting citizens to participate in community projects goes beyond collecting feedback. It leverages local knowledge and expertise of your residents. This collaboration can lead to innovative solutions that are deeply rooted in the community's unique needs and context. And what sort of benefits do you get from citizen feedback? Well, it informs policymaking. Citizen feedback is a valuable source of information for policymakers. It offers a direct line to the community's pulse, highlighting their needs and priorities. This direct input is invaluable in shaping policies that are truly reflective of the community's aspirations and challenges. Feedback service effectiveness. Feedback serves as a report card for municipal services. It's a measure of how well these services are meeting the needs of your citizens. Regular evaluation based on this feedback helps you fine-tune services for maximum impact and effectiveness. And of course, discussed about all the time, transparency and trust. When citizens see their input being taken seriously and influencing decisions, it fosters a sense of ownership and trust in local government. This level of engagement and transparency is crucial in building a stronger, more cohesive community. So citizen feedback isn't just data, but it's overall a powerful tool for enhancing the responsiveness and effectiveness of local government. Next, we're going to talk about operational data. So operational data, these are some of the ways you can gather that. Automated data collection. In the era of smart cities, leveraging technologies like Internet of Things or IoT devices allow you to collect real-time operational data automatically. It streamlines this data collection process, it reduces human error, and provides a wealth of data for analysis. Implementing dashboards to visualize key performance indicators, or KPIs, changes the game. These dashboards provide a clear, concise view of operational performance, making it easier for decision makers to monitor progress and identify areas needing attention. And then by utilizing historical operational data, you can engage in predictive analysis, forecasting future trends, and preparing accordingly. This proactive approach allows for better planning and resource allocation. And then periodic and regular audits are crucial to verify the accuracy of the data collected. These audits help identify discrepancies and areas where operational processes can be improved, ensuring the data we rely on is both accurate and useful. I've discussed in past webinars, but bad data is very unhelpful and often less helpful than having no data at all. So knowing that you have good, strong, valuable data is very important. So these methods not only improve data collection, but enhance your ability to make strategic decisions. And with operational data, it will help you improve efficiency. So it's uh, it, excuse me. Operational data is key in identifying areas that require efficiency improvements. By analyzing metrics like service response times and resource utilization, you can pinpoint where operations can be streamlined, leading to better resource management and service delivery. Continuous tracking of operational metrics allow for real-time performance monitoring. This enables municipalities to quickly identify and address any inefficiencies or service gaps, ensuring that operations consistently meet or exceed community expectations. And then it's going to help you with your strategic planning. So long-term planning is essential for sustainable growth and development. Operational data lays that foundation for that planning by providing insights into So next is financial data. This one's obviously very important for anyone who deals with the budget, which is probably all of you at
Sorry,
some point. Oh, yeah.
sorry, you froze Taylor for maybe 30 seconds. I don't know if it was just me, but I
Uh-oh.
think it was probably everybody.
I think it was everyone too.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I lost you for about 30
Okay, where'd
seconds
I
there as
freeze?
well.
Oh, what's my last word?
Uh,
Uh, okay, I'll just talk about this one again quick.
yes.
So sorry if you've heard this already. So operational data will help you improve efficiency. So it's key in identifying areas that require efficiency improvements, and by analyzing metrics like service response times, resource utilization, you can look where operations need to be streamlined, and that will help lead to better resource management and service delivery. They'll help monitor performance. So continuous tracking of operational metrics allow for real-time performance monitoring, allowing you to quickly identify and address any inefficiencies or service gaps, ensuring that your operations consistently meet or exceed community expectations. And finally, they help facilitate strategic planning. So long-term planning is essential for sustainable growth and development, and having this operational data will lay the foundation for planning long-term planning by providing insights into resource allocation, service demands, and future growth patterns, ensuring that your strategic plans are data-informed and goal-oriented. Did I freeze that time?
No, all
Not
good.
that time.
Okay, perfect. Okay, financial data. So we're going to look at financial data sources now. Some of the ways you can get this information. Integrated financial systems. Financial transparency begins with integration. By implementing systems that amalgamate all your financial data, municipalities can obtain a unified and comprehensive financial overview. This integration is crucial for accurate budgeting, forecasting, and reporting, providing a clear picture of fiscal health. It'll also scenario planning. So financial data is not just for recording what has happened, but preparing for what could happen. Scenario planning using this data allows municipalities to prepare for various fiscal situations, ensuring readiness for different economic conditions. Cost benefit analysis. So having a regular cost benefit analysis is an essential tool for any organization assessing the financial viability of projects. It ensures that every initiative undertaken provides value to the community and is worth the investment. This practice underpins fiscally responsible governance. And then having your financial data portals open and easily available. This embodies the principle of transparency and governance. By providing easy public access to financial records, municipalities are held accountable and public trust is bolstered. These portals will serve as a testament to a government's commitment to openness and fiscal responsibility. And some of the benefits you're going to get from having this financial data is budget optimization. Once you have accurate financial data at your disposal, you can ensure that budget allocations are not just adequate but optimized. This means that funds are directed effectively, minimizing waste and maximizing impact for every dollar spent. Fiscal transparency. Now we've opened it to the public. It's available, it's understandable, and it's a window through which all stakeholders can view the workings of public fund management. And then revenue expenditure analysis. So a deep dive into revenue and expenditure data helps spot trends, understand financial health, and make informed predictions. This level of analysis is indispensable for future-proofing financial planning and ensuring we can meet the future needs of our community. Now, environmental data. So environmental data is getting more and more important as each year goes on. And there's some effective strategies for this. So real-time monitoring systems. The value of real-time environmental data monitoring cannot be overstated. For example, implementing systems that track air and water quality metrics in real time allow municipalities to address environmental issues promptly and efficiently. Again, public reporting and dashboards. Providing public with access to environmental data, you promote transparency, and you give this collaborative approach to environmental stewardship. Sustainability metrics tracking. Establishing and tracking sustainability metrics is key to measuring the effectiveness of environmental initiatives. Regular monitoring helps to ensure that sustainability goals are being met and informs adjustments to strategies as needed. And then collaboration. So collaborations are very strong in anything. And with environmental agencies, strong partnerships allow for shared expertise and resources, enhancing your capacity for data-driven environmental conservation efforts. So these sources and strategies for harnessing environmental data are essential tools for municipalities to protect and improve the quality of life for their communities. So as we conclude our exploration of data types, let's reflect on the vital role of environmental data and what it can do for you. So it'll inform your sustainability initiatives. Environmental data serves as the foundation for designing and implementing sustainability projects. It offers actionable insights that help shape initiatives to make cities greener and more sustainable. Greener cities will often, over time, save money in the long run. Monitoring environmental health. Um, this data acts as the pulse for our local ecosystems. Tracking changes in air and water quality, again as an example, can lead to timely interventions, ensuring that environment is preserved for future generations. And perhaps most importantly, environmental data has a direct correlation with the well-being of your community. Decisions based on this data can lead to healthier lifestyles and a better quality of life for all of your residents. So the benefits of utilizing environmental data are clear. It empowers you to make decisions that not only preserve your environment, but also enhance the overall well-being of your citizens. Does anyone have any questions before I move on to another case study? No? All right, let's keep going on. So we're going to take a look at another case study. This one here is from Longmont, Colorado. So Longmont has a population of around 94,000. They undertook a significant initiative to integrate data across various city agencies. So Longmont realized they needed to break down the data silos between city agencies. By collecting extensive data across public safety, utilities, and other departments, they laid the groundwork for a more interconnected and informed city administration. And the biggest thing is this was leadership driven. It was the city manager's directive that ignited the move to integrate this data. This leadership driven approach was key in creating an organizational view that enhanced service delivery and operational efficiency. And then to oversee this ambitious project, Longmont established a data governance working group. This team, they drew from various departments to build the team, ensured that data handling is consistent, secure, and facilitates collaboration across the city's agencies. And what benefits did they see from this? Well, they had improved decision making. This integration of cross-departmental data empowered city leaders and department managers, gave them holistic view, and this led to more informed decision making, allowing for strategic planning and resource allocation that truly meets and exceeded the needs of the community. They enhanced their emergency services. So by analyzing the integrated data, Longmont was able to improve the response times of their emergency services. This optimization was a massive boon for public safety, directly benefiting the community's well-being and potentially saving lives. And it offered this public engagement, public information, to residents. And this was one of the most significant improvements. It gave them a different way to access the city data. Longmont's initiative to make data more accessible and understandable fostered greater public engagement, and it bridged the gap between municipality and the citizens. So these advancements highlight the tangible benefits of a data-driven approach, and one that Longmont will continue to refine and benefit from in the many years to come. So finally, let's look at the future of how data is potentially going to shape municipal governance around the world. So emerging trends right now. These are cutting edge trends, things that are being discussed a lot right now. Smart cities, of course, we hear smart cities. So the integration of IoT, Internet of Things devices into urban infrastructure represents a leap forward in how cities collect and analyze data. There's talk of streetlights that are only on when there's a nearby activity, water systems that predict leaks before they happen. This is the potential of these devices and a smart city technology. And then, of course, AI. AI and machine learning, they're not just buzzwords, even though we hear them talked about a lot. They are, however, revolutionizing urban governance. By analyzing large data sets much better than a human can, AI is able to predict trends, optimize services, things from traffic flow, energy usage, leading to more informed decision making and often lots of money savings right up front. And then citizen-centric data platforms. So all platforms and solutions for municipalities now are being more and more focused on the citizen and the citizen experience. Beyond data collection, the development of citizen-centric platforms is about engagement. These platforms invite citizens to actively participate in government, from providing feedback to co-creating solutions for any urban challenges. So these trends are more than just small advancements. Instead, they're a shift towards a more dynamic, responsive, and efficient urban government. And then we have some predictions for our future based on these things we're seeing right now. So of course, predictive governance. We've discussed this a bit, and it's just going to keep going. This is the next step in data-based decision making. It's utilizing the data for preemptive decisions, utilizing analytics to anticipate urban needs and manage proactively rather than reactively will define future cities. Enhance data privacy and security. Of course, as we collect more data, this is talked about more and more every day, your responsibility to protect it grows. So expect to see a significant increase in efforts to safeguard citizen data against cyber threats, ensuring the trust and security in all of the digital infrastructure that is being developed. And then cross-jurisdictional data sharing. So the future is collaborative. The future is globalization. We'll see more municipalities sharing data across jurisdictions, learning from each other, pooling resources, and everyone sharing in those mutual benefits. So we have one more section. Does anyone have any questions before I move on to our final part of the presentation? Okay, so let's talk about Access UN1. So we've established today the importance of utilizing data for your decision-making process. So I'm now going to discuss how Access UN1 can meet the brief for your municipality. So Access UN1 is a case management and CRM system for your municipality. It's been designed for any population size and is easily scalable to the needs of your organization. It stands as a comprehensive solution designed to streamline your operations, enhance citizen engagement, and drive your data-informed decision-making. With its robust capabilities, Access UN1 empowers municipalities to effectively manage cases and interactions backed by the power of data and analytics. So we've got a very useful case dashboard included for every staff member, and it is completely configurable to the needs of that person in their role, providing real-time at-a-glance data. It's an integrated solution. So we offer seamless data synchronization across all departments. It's a necessity for proper data and having an overall view of your organization. Access UN1's integrated solution means your data is harmonized, it breaks down the silos, and ensures departmental collaborations. And then finally, we offer a mobile app. So the power of data should be at your fingertips no matter where you are. With Access UN1's mobile app, access to critical case information is not confined to an office. It travels with you, making your information availability mobile and responsive. And some of the things you'll see from Access UN1, just a few of the many. So it offers automated reporting to stakeholders. So this streamlines the process of keeping stakeholders informed by offering automated, accurate, and timely reporting on this real-time data. Access UN1 makes accountability and communication effortless and efficient. You gain real-time citizen feedback. And by allowing you to capture this citizen feedback, you ensure that community voices are heard and factored into your decision-making process, enhancing responsiveness and citizen satisfaction. And finally, you can back your decisions with valuable data. It provides valuable data insights backing up every decision you make with solid, actionable data, thereby ensuring that your decisions are not just intuitive, but also data-driven and effective. All right, to close things out here, so we discussed the importance, what data-driven decision-making is, how it compares to traditional decision-making, various ways you can capture data, various types of data, and overall just the importance of using data in everything you do in your decision making alongside your current tools. So it shouldn't replace things, it should be added into everything you do. So does anyone have any final questions before we move on? or before we close out for the day. Okay, well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. If you are interested in hearing more about Access UN1 or have any further questions, please give us a shout at contact@accessun1.com, and myself or Lisa will be able to reach out to you. Thank you guys for being a part of our presentation today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful, and I hope to see you again at our future ones. Have a great
Thanks,
rest of your
everyone.
week.
Thanks, everyone.